put a title on this, so I don't freaking know if it's, I don't know. But I hope y'all can hear me. I wanted to come on because I have work tonight. I'm picking up another shift, and yeah, I got work tonight. Yeah, I can see I'm at the hospital at work. And I wanted to come on because it's Vlogmas, and if I didn't post this, like, y'all wasn't gonna get it. So I want to talk about the full moon coming up in the sign of Sagittarius, and talk about how they can correlate with the end of the year, right? So right now, like I talked about in my last video, I was talking about how how we tell ourselves, I'm just gonna say me, how I tell myself, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, or I'm gonna start this, I'm gonna start that, I'm gonna stop this. And then as soon as anything happens, it's like all plans are done. Like, I'm done doing it. What's up, Divine by Design? And it's like I bail on myself and I completely like run away from what I said I was gonna do. And I feel like that on a subconscious level and a conscious level is very detrimental when you tell yourself you're going to do something and you don't do it. It's like, how can you not obey yourself? How can you be disobedient to you? Like, you set a standard for yourself, you set boundaries for yourself, you set ambitions for yourself, and then when it's time to do the work, it's crickets. It's crickets. And instead of, sometimes for me, I'm gonna say me. I'm not gonna say you. I'm gonna affirm me. I will set these standards for myself and say I'm gonna do this or do that and the third, and then sometimes I don't even do it. I don't even set standards for myself. I don't even create any type of goals or anything. That's kind of where I feel really stuck, because I'm like, all I'm gonna do is just bail on them anyways. I'm not gonna follow through with it anyways. So what's the point of even caring? What's the point of even creating any type of plans? What's the point of having a vision for yourself? What's the point of betting on yourself when you know that you're not gonna come through? And that's not good. It's not good to not be able to trust yourself. It's not good to put yourself in a position where you can't even depend on you to come through for you. What's up, Danae? Dania? What's up, D? I'm gonna say D. That's not a good position to be in, where you can't really support yourself, to the point where you can't do what you say you're gonna do. Does anybody get where I'm coming from? Like, I feel like that's why things like, there's so many shortcuts in life. Oh, whose birthday is it? Oh, Joyful Peace. Talking about Christ, the reason for the season. Joyful Peace said, it's Joyful Peace's birthday. Oh, happy birthday! You said, I do the same. It gives me a reason to say why I procrastinated in the first place, like validation for the foolery, but it worked. But it's a work in progress. Yes, and I feel like right now it's a full moon and Sagittarius. We're about to come into this full moon, and it's around your birthday too, so you got to use this energy. I feel like the it's releasing the things that's holding you back from your full potential, because Sagittarius energy is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is one of the biggest planets. It's a planet that brings you a lot of benefits, a lot of blessings, a lot of abundance, a lot of um just like big things. It brings you big energy. And I feel like with this releasing, like, we're releasing anything that's holding us back from being big, right? What's holding us back from being seen? What's holding us back from being able to partake in the abundance? And also, part of the abundance, I feel like, is not just receiving, it's also giving. Sagittarius energy is a very gregarious giving energy, similar to this time of the year, right? But I think sometimes that taking is takes over. And also, when you start to, I'm gonna say when I put myself in a position where I don't trust myself, or I'm not betting on myself, or I'm not taking care of myself, it's very hard for me to then turn around and be there for others, or give to others, or even to like share my light with other people. It becomes harder, because it's just like, I feel like I'm not even giving it to myself. Like, I'm not even showing up authentically for myself. So how can I do that for anybody else? And to me, that's very stifling. That's a sad energy. So with this full moon, I am holding on. I let y'all go, Lord. I almost broke my glasses. So with this full moon, I feel like, yeah, this is the time to release the ties that's holding you back from being able to live big. And that could look any type of way. And also, In the past, for me, it's been an all or nothing type of thing. All or nothing, I'm going all the way in, black or white. You know, if I'm gonna stop something, I gotta stop it cold turkey, da 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 da. And in the past, I've done that with certain things, and then I find myself going back to it as if like it's a reward. Like, oh my gosh, I stopped myself from doing it for so long. Now that I've passed those 30 days, or I passed that 2 weeks that I said I was gonna stop, or at least I stopped for 2 weeks. Now I feel like, okay, now it's time for me to gorge and just, do whatever I want, live it up. And then I go through this cycle of, oh, I should have just kept with what I was doing. I should have did this. I should have did that. And why did I go back to, how I was doing things? And then the self-loathing starts to come in, and then you go through the same cycle, right? Of like, okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna do this Monday. I'm gonna do this next year. I'm gonna do this. Da 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 da. And it's just like, why not transition yourself? Why not taper yourself off? Especially if you have like addictions, habits, anything like people, certain thought patterns that you're addicted to, certain foods, certain substances that you're addicted to. Like I said, people, even thought forms, certain videos that you're constantly putting into your body that you don't need to consume. Why not taper yourself off of it? And in that process, you start to realize, like, why were you even attached to this energy to begin with? What made you attached to something that is not in alignment with you? Why are you attached to something that may be harming you? Or why are you attaching yourself to something that is a barrier to what you actually need or what you actually want? Or why are you attaching yourself to something that it's not sustainable? Like, you can't really sustain this, or it doesn't really have substance to you. Why are you holding on to it? And with Sagittarius energy, they have an energy where they can just be the person, the voyager out there on a backpack. Now, not every Sagittarius, right? But the Sagittarius energy, the energy of it is to be unattached. It's a wildfire. It just takes over, it takes off, and it just wants to spread the energy. It's like the gospel child. It's just that's what they say. Sagittarius can be like, that energy is like a pastor or a preacher type energy, because they just want to spread the energy. They're not really trying to attach themselves to anything, because once you start to attach yourself to stuff, you start to become bogged down by it. And now any decision you make is based off of that thing, because you're attaching yourself to it. And also, you might start to identify with that thing. And then when you start to identify with something, then your habits start to change. So, for example, say that you, I don't know, say you just like to watch certain, I don't know, maybe smoking, because people smoke, child. Tobacco got everybody in the chokehold. Like, at least back in the day, right? So you attach yourself with smoking. Now, oh, I can't do this because I gotta smoke before I do it, or I gotta go get some smokes, or I gotta have enough money to get smokes, whatever you smoking, drinking, whatever. Or I have to or let me go change my clothes because I smell like smoke, or let me go do this because of that, let me go do that. So everything starts to frame around it. Now you've attached yourself to this energy. It's affecting parts of your life. And on top of that, you are associating yourself with being a smoker. So now the things that you do are in alignment with being a smoker. But if you just choose to not attach yourself to certain habits, it won't have such control and power over you. And that's what I'm learning. Like, just learn to, like, changing the way I identify myself, and also just learning to trust myself, trust my energy, and start to get my confidence back when it comes to betting on myself, y'all. Like, this is why I haven't done so much with the channel, and why sometimes I just feel like my energy is all over the place, because I just have not betted on myself, because I really don't trust my ability to follow through with things, because I've been lying to myself for too damn long. So have any of y'all been doing the same thing? Feel like you lying to yourself, or you're not really you're not coming through with yourself. You're not coming through on what you say you're going to do, and how you want to move through life, and what you want in life. And also, like, we think we have time. We think that, oh, I'll do it next year, or I'll do it next week, or I'll do this, or I'll do that. Like, how many times you going to tell yourself that? And again, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can transition yourself out of a habit, just like you can transition yourself into a habit. Just start to take the small steps to get there. Start to be aware of it too. And it also, be okay with the transition. Be okay with transitioning yourself to that next level. It doesn't have to happen just like that. Because if you allow yourself to transition into it, then I believe it sticks with you more. It sticks with you more because anytime it sticks with you more, and it teaches you moderation too. It teaches you moderation. It teaches you that life is not always all or nothing. Some things you might want to have it in moderation. But when you have that mindset where I gotta stop it, or I gotta do this, I gotta, go to the gym and do this and do this and do this and do this and do this, and I'm gonna do all these 5 different things. I'm gonna start these new habits Monday. It's like, why? Why do that to yourself? Why do that to yourself? How about we start with, I'm gonna drink more water today. And what is that? What does more water actually translate to? Does it translate to drinking a liter more? Okay, let's focus on that. Then I can look and see, okay, how was I able to reflect? Full moon's about reflection too. Plus this time of year, then you can reflect during this transition time. Be like, okay, what's working for me? What's not working for me? What triggers are coming up? How are my emotions throughout this situation? Like, how am I moving? Similar to me, like as a woman, especially because with our cycle, our emotions, at least for me, I'm like I said, I got to start speaking for myself. I can't just say I or people or we. Me. You gotta take ownership, child. Acceptance. I understand that with my cycle as a female, um, there's gonna be times when my energy is very low. There's gonna be times when my energy is very high. So there's gonna be times where I need to be more introspective. There's gonna be times where I'm gonna speak more outward. I'm gonna be more extroverted. So use that time wisely. Realize your cycles. Realize, pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to your body. Pay attention to the thoughts that you keep, and also pay attention to the emotions that you're allowing to override you. And don't hold judgment on yourself. Do not hold judgment on yourself. Do not feel as if you have to be a complete package in order for you to even be worthy of doing anything with your life. And that's how sometimes I be feeling like, okay, I got this problem, I got that, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. So what's the point of me even trying to go and do this or the third? Because I'm like, I'm not doing the other stuff I said I was gonna do, so what? And it's like this really negative cycle. It's a very negative cycle. So I'm really working on that. And it's just starting with me, the small things. I'm at work now. I'm 30 minutes early for work, child. And just getting my butt to work early. Okay, I told myself I want to get to work early. So how about we do it? Simple stuff. And it's just like, I think part of me is just like I want to rebel or self-sabotage so that I can stay in the same position I'm in. Or it's like, this desire to constantly punish yourself. It's weird. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, it's like I'm addicted to that cycle of, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it, let's do it. And I do it for a little bit and then I stop, and it's just like I feel bad about myself, and then I grovel, and I'm in this self-pity and all this crap, and then I get to like a bottom, and then I finally be like, okay, I'm gonna go back for it again. It's just like, and then the progress never really happens. The progress doesn't really happen. But also throughout that cycle of whatever you're doing, right? Hopefully each time you get to that point where maybe you don't follow through what you say you're going to do, and you go back through this cycle, hopefully you start to see, okay, this is what worked for me, this is what didn't work for me. I do still have some progress in other parts of my life, and then just use that as a way to go to the next step. But I think for me, the key is transition. Be okay with the transition. Be okay with taking smaller steps, smaller chunks to get there, and not see things as being so black and so white, and also being more aware of like my reaction to stuff, my reaction to things, like my emotional reactions to stuff. Like today, my kid did something and I started to get anxious, and I was like, Brandy, okay, I feel like you're getting a little anxious, but you don't have to right now. Everything is okay. Everything is okay. You're gonna be all right. I had to talk myself out of it because I just don't want to be associated with that energy. And I know that it's gonna come up, like some certain all these emotions that we have in life are going to come up, but it's a matter of what state are you in when it comes to you, right? What state is your mind in? What state is your body and your health in when certain things happen to you? Because I think sometimes I feel like if I get to the top of the mountain, I'm never going to have to deal with feelings of insecurity. I'm never going to have to deal with boredom. I'm never going to have to deal with loneliness. I'm never going to have to deal with feeling lost. I ain't gonna have to deal with none of that no more because I've reached the pinnacle of life. And it's just like, I don't think that exists. I don't really think that you get up there to this, moment in your life where everything is just autopilot. And in my head, I felt like that's what's supposed to happen. I'm supposed to work super hard and run and get to a certain point where I can just coast. And I don't really think that that's going to happen. I don't think that that's the goal. I don't really think that that's the end point. I believe that once you get to the top of that mountain, or once you get to a certain point, like they say, you're going to always want something more. There's going to be another challenge waiting for you. Or there's going to be another height that you're going to see, that you're going to want to aspire to. So why not, while you're going through this journey, why not just tell yourself you are complete? Tell yourself that you are ready. Tell yourself that you are enough. Because if we never really going to get to a point where we're satisfied, how about we just be satisfied now? Because we never gonna. There's no point. There's no point of There's no, because once you get to that point, there's another point above that point, above that point, then you die. It's just like, okay. So how about we find that joy, that peace, that acceptance now, instead of looking for it, instead of hoping for it, instead of fighting for it, and never really getting there. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Um, Don't stress too much over it, because the necessities of life are food, clothing, and shelter, love. Anything beyond that is a bonus. I heard that. I do the same. I'm always second guessing myself. Girl, is that D? Yes. The second guessing. You gotta just trust yourself. Trust yourself, and it start with small things. Small things that you say that you're gonna do. Follow through with it. And when you're like, oh, I'm too tired. You don't really have an excuse. You don't have no excuse, and you tell yourself, I obey myself. And that's something I'm keeping telling myself, because I'm like really going through, I'm not going through some things, but I'm really like working on changing my habits, some of my bad habits. And like when I want to do certain things, I just be like, girl, I obey myself. I said what I said, and I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do. I do what I say I'm going to do. I follow through on my word. I obey myself, like telling myself these things. I obey myself. Or I got through yesterday, I'm getting through today. I got through yesterday, I'm getting through today. Like certain things like that to affirm myself, and to like push away them demons, child, them demons. And the demons is really you. Let's just be honest. I know some people feel like, demons is the devil and all that. I believe there's energies that are necessarily here to like put us, in a certain position, good and bad energies, good and bad, right? But I do believe that the demons that we are fighting are our demons. They're our lower self. They're our afraid and scared and insecure self that's just trying to stay valid, that just wants to be heard, that does not want to change, that's still holding on to something. Because it's holding on to that because that's how it identifies itself. If you choose to not hold on to your demons, how can they exist? How can they exist if you choose to just let them go? If you don't give them any more air, how can they exist? Because they're feeding off of your energy. You feeding your demons. So if you choose to not feed them or pay attention to them anymore, they your demons. They ain't nobody else. They your demons. So if you choose to distance yourself from that and detach, like we're saying with the Sagittarius, detach from it, it has no more power over you. And then instead, you just use that energy. You use the energy of the demons to push you forward. Instead, you take your energy back and you use that to push you forward. So that's what I'm thinking about, y'all. I'm like just taking more control and power of my life, and not being afraid of this next step in my life, not being afraid of peace, of acceptance, of people. Because sometimes, child, people be, I want to deal with people, but not being afraid of people, not being afraid of my power, not being afraid of whatever God wants me to do, whatever spirit wants me to do, universe, like all these energies, like whatever God sees for me, like I don't want to be afraid to step into that, because I think I'm going to let myself down. And that's where I've been at. Like I've been afraid to take next steps in my life, because I'm like, I'm just gonna mess it up, or I'm just gonna, like I'm not gonna follow through with this. So why even give it my all? Yeah. So that's where I'm at. So that's why, like for me, the focus, it really isn't on what can I accomplish, what's all the things I can do with like a business or this or that or that. It's more so what can I do about me? What can I do about me so that no matter where I'm at, no matter what I'm doing, I'm okay. Because if I'm constantly chasing business or money or this or that, it's like I'm not going to find fulfillment because I'm still not changing. So until I change myself and master myself and be able to control myself, none of that stuff matters. You have to control yourself. You have to trust yourself. You have to listen to yourself and do what the hell you said you was going to do. So I'm at work. I got to get up here, y'all. Thank you for watching. Let me see if y'all got any more comments. Hey, Trey. Dang, girl, you speak so many truths. Oh, thank you. Yes, yes, and yes. You were so right about all that. You were encouraging me. Love the honesty. I'm the same. I'm so glad I listened to you today. I so needed to hear all this. Thank you. Oh, I needed all of y'all. This, and the reason why I posted, it was somebody, I'm gonna have to put their name in the comment section, but they had commented on my last video where I was talking about similar topic. And she was like, I'm glad that you didn't give up on yourself. I'm glad that you're still going. Because I was like, part of me didn't even want to feel like, I didn't feel like posting my vlog yesterday. But I was like, let me post this. I need to post a video because I told myself I was going to do this. And I'm doing what I told myself I'm going to do. And 75 Hard helped with this. Because it was plenty of times through 75 Hard where I was like, I ain't about to do that second workout. It's 9 o'clock. I'm about to go to sleep. And I was like, no, we're not giving up. Let's just do it like you did it yesterday when you was tired. Let's just do it tired. And so that's what I'm doing right now, doing this video for y'all before I go into work. So thank you so much for everybody that's watching this. I just put out there that we all find peace and that we all bet on ourselves moving forward. You gotta bet on yourself, and that starts with you trusting yourself and doing the things that you say you're gonna do. And you can start with something small. Oh, thank you, Susie. Thank you. I appreciate it. I think you said you was a Cancer. I think I saw your comment. I forgot to comment, but I remember you. I think it was you that said you was a Cancer too. I think I'm gonna go back to your comment. But thank you for the super chat. But yeah, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Like, I'm so glad I did Vlogmas because I just kind of abandoned this channel. And y'all know y'all my babies. I've been on this channel forever. So this channel is my baby. But I'm back, y'all. But again, the focus is not on what you can do and what you can accomplish. It's on you. It's you, y'all. I'm learning that it's you. I got to master myself. That's what I'm learning. Like, it really is me. I need to master me. And whatever that looks like, that's the goal. So that's what all 2025 gonna be about for me. But also, I'm gonna do another video talking about this, how the new year is not really the new year. This is more like the transition into the new year, which is really Aries season, but this is the new calendar year. So you can still use this energy of the new calendar year too. But I'm gonna let y'all go so I can go be somebody nurse, child. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Like, it's appreciated. All of the good energy is appreciated. All the views and comments are appreciated. And just the energy, y'all. Just the energy exchange. I appreciate y'all. Keep doing well. Keep taking care of yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, y'all.